once Miss Cheerily returned and heard what had happened to Pip, she announced that class was cancelled and the schoolhouse would be closed until they figured out just what was going on. With the rest of the day free, the Cutie Mark Crusaders decided to head back to Sweet Apple Acres. Granny Smith was on a Zap Apple baking rampage, and the kitchen was bursting with baked goods. Apple Bloom knew there would be plenty to snack on while they discussed what to do about Lily Moon and the schoolhouse. Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo entered the kitchen to find Granny in the midst of baking a batch of Zap Apple pies to go along with the jams, tarts, muffins, and fritters that already filled the kitchen.
Now hurry up and fix those pipes. I got another batch to make up for gold and delicious after this end,
Granny called out.
Yep.
Big Mac replied from under the sink as he tinkered with the plumbing. Applejack walked into the kitchen carrying another bushel of Zap apples. She set them down and wiped the sweat from brow.
Here you go, Granny,
Applejack said.
This should do you for the next couple of batches.
Applejack saw the Crusaders in the kitchen and glanced up at the clock.
Hold up. Why aren't y'all in school?
Miss Shirley let us out early today,
she asked suspiciously. Apple Bloom mentioned casually as she gathered some Zap Apple fritters to take up to her room. But her sister wasn't gonna let her off that easily.
And why would Shirley let y'all out early?
Applejack pressed.
What happened?
Well, no pony exactly what happened.
Scootaloo offered up. Apple Bloom shot her a look, but Scootaloo rolled her eyes and continued.
Something messed up the schoolhouse. The whole thing was a disaster. Whatever did it grabbed Pip and flew him around the room.
Say what now?
Applejack exclaimed as Granny Smith and Big Mac stopped what they were doing to listen.
A few ponies in class think the new student has something to do with all of it, but we don't know that for sure yet,
Sweetie Belle added.
It's that new family up on Horseshoe Hill,
Granny Smith said.
That house has been empty for more moons than I care to count. Something strange about it.
Yep.
Big Mac agreed.
What's strange?
Apple Bloom asked.
Well, no pony knows for sure,
Granny said, placing some pies on the windowsill to cool.
but there's a reason it's been empty for so long. The ponies who lived there before, something wasn't right about them, if I recall.
No, that's just a bunch of old ponies' tales.
Applejack scoffed. She turned back to the Crusaders.
You said something grabbed Pip and spun him. That sounds dangerous. Maybe I should head over to the castle, round up the others, and we can—
No, it's fine.
Apple Bloom said, louder than she intended. Every pony stopped and looked at her.
Ponies in Equestria somehow managed to survive before you and your friends came along, you know.
Well, it doesn't sound fine to me.
Applejack insisted.
It won't hurt for me to mention the Twilight.
Ponies in Equestria somehow managed to survive before you and your friends came along, you know.
Apple Bloom blurted out. Applejack stared at her sister in surprise.
Well, of course I know that. I'm just worried about you, that's all.
Of course you're worried about me.
Apple Bloom said, rolling her eyes.
You're the almighty Applejack, hero of Equestria. And I'm just your little sister who can't do anything on her own.
Apple Bloom stormed out of the kitchen and slammed the door, leaving a very confused Apple family and the Zap Apple fritters behind her. Apple Bloom sat at a table inside Sugar Cube Corner, eating one of Mrs. Cake's cupcakes. It wasn't as good as anything Granny Smith was currently baking, but on the plus side, there was no annoying big sister here trying to do everything for her. Apple Bloom heard the door open and knew without looking it was Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle. They both sat down at the table and waited a few minutes before saying anything. finally broke the silence.
That was interesting.
Apple Bloom was embarrassed. She hadn't planned on blowing up at her sister, especially in front of her friends. She knew Applejack just wanted to help. But if sister was gonna run around saving the day all the time, what did that leave for Apple Bloom to do?
We got our cutie marks. We're not fillies anymore.
Apple Bloom explained.
When Applejack was my age, she already defeated Nightmare Moon.
Actually,
Scootaloo said, doing the math in her head.
I don't think they were quite this young when...
The point is,
Apple Bloom interrupted.
helping other ponies find their cutie marks is nice and all. But
our sisters and their friends save Equestria every other day.
Sweetie Belle finished for her.
yeah,
Apple Bloom agreed.
we got some big hooves to fill.
Scootaloo put her wing on Apple Bloom's shoulder.
Look, we get it. Sweetie Belle feels the same way being Rarity's sister, and every pony knows I wish I were half as awesome as Rainbow Dash. But comparing yourself to the most heroic ponies in Equestria, one of whom happens to be your sister, is a lot of pressure.
I know,
Apple Bloom admitted.
but I guess I just figured this stuff with Lily Moon happened at our schoolhouse. The pony our age. I was hoping it was something we could handle ourselves.
Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle glanced at each other and nodded.
Well then, let's handle it.
Scootaloo said, grinning.
Really?
Apple Bloom said.
I guess so.
Sweetie Belle said, a little nervously.
I mean, if I'm going to do something completely terrifying, I might as well do it with my two best friends, right?
You're the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Scootaloo said.
We've done everything together for as long as I can remember. So if you think figuring out what's wrong with Lily Moon is our next big mission, then you can count on us.
Apple Bloom hugged her friends. She really was the luckiest pony in the whole world.
Well, let's go over what we know so far. Lily Moon's family is from Chotsylvania, and they live up in a house on Horseshoe Hill. Granny said something was up with that place. Maybe we can start there.
Or
Scootaloo said, slamming her hooves on the table.
we could return to the scene of the crime.
She smiled triumphantly.
The schoolhouse?
Sweetie Belle asked.
No, the Everfree Forest.
Scootaloo corrected.
Technically, that's not the scene of the crime.
Sweetie Belle said matter-of-factly.
That's just where we spotted her.
While the two bickered, Apple Bloom glanced out the window.
You know what I mean.
Scootaloo rolled her eyes.
I just don't know why it makes sense to.
Sweetie Belle began, but Apple Bloom interrupted her.
Scootaloo, you're a genius.
Apple Bloom announced.
I am?
Scootaloo asked. Apple Bloom pointed. Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo looked out the window, and sure enough, there was Lily Moon, sneaking right back into the Everfree Forest.
We can't just go rushing after her like we did last time.
Apple Bloom said to the others as they hurried out of Sugar Cube Corner.
Well, what do you suggest? She's already got a head start.
Scootaloo said impatiently. Apple Bloom looked ahead. She could see Lily Moon was headed toward the same tree with the same big roots she had climbed over yesterday. If they just rushed after her, they would probably lose her again. Apple Bloom examined the options. She saw a larger entrance nearby with a clearer path.
There.
Apple Bloom pointed.
We can enter the forest through there, so we don't have to go crawling through the trees and bushes. It will get us a little bit ahead, and then we can wait for her.
The other two nodded, and they veered toward the entrance.
And we're sure this is how we want to spend our afternoon?
Sweetie Belle asked one more time.
Yes.
Apple Bloom insisted.